Recording in progress. All right. I'm gonna pull you off, pull you on, same as usual. All right. This is what you look like. I feel like you're a little too bright.
I think I'm too dark.
Okay.
Like over here, I think this light is off. So it's making it so it's not. Yeah, see? Because you had this side of me dark. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
See the difference?
Sort of, but I do prefer this.
Hey, and welcome to this episode of Pink Pulpit Podcast. I am really excited about our entire journey this year. And remember, this is the gospel according to her, for women, by women who want real life change in their pulpit of life. So I know that this year is a year that we're leaning in a different way and that we are ready to gather, to be empowered, to be encouraged, to be enlightened, to be equipped to take bolder steps in our pulpits of life. And whether you're in the marketplace, or you're in ministry, or you're mentoring, or you are just ready for more, what I want you to know that this year we're stepping bigger, stepping larger, and we are being challenged this year in the pink pulpit of our lives. Today's conversation is a word that for a lot of us can be challenging. A lot of us sometimes can have issues in this area. And a lot of us have a tendency to use this word
Two.
So, our conversations this year are about us leaning in and really making a major decision that we're equipping our lives to be able to go after things in a brand new way, that we're being equipped to take bolder steps in our pulpit, whether it be mentoring, whether it be the marketplace, or whether it be just wanting more. I believe that this conversation is a conversation that is necessary because, just like I said before, this word is a place where I believe the majority of us can have space of growing or space where we could be better. So as we continue to step into this year, I want to challenge you with this one word: trust. I know, swallow, take a deep breath. I want you trusting God, trusting yourself, trusting the process, and trusting the journey. I want to say that again. Trusting God, trusting yourself, trusting the process, and trusting the journey. We're not just talking about trusting casually. No, sis, and some gents that are watching us. We're talking about trusting harder, trusting deeper, and trusting bigger. Because trust isn't passive, it's active. And when you truly trust, it changes your destination, your momentum, and your ability to take new ground. Today, I want to talk about 5 powerful ways of trust and that you can expect to pursue and really step into what lies ahead without hesitation, without fear, and without looking back. This really is the year that we're looking forward. We're taking no prisoners, and we are unapologetically ensuring that we are going to do what it is that we are determined to do this year. So I want to start out with this story. And trust is an area for me that earlier in life was a major issue. I really didn't trust people as far as I can throw them, and I could not throw people anywhere. Or I trusted people as far as I could spit backwards. So I don't know about you, but I really can't. So this was an area where I could either stay where I was or do the work of learning why I didn't trust and why was it necessary for me to change my thought about trusting and learning how to trust. So there was this woman that stood at the edge of this rickety wooden bridge. And it was the only way to go forward, only way to get to her next. But the cracks and the missing pieces and the missing blanks and the way that the wind kind of shook the bridge made her question everything. Then she heard this whisper, and it was God saying, "Trust me." Now she had a choice, like so many of us do at those defining moments, to turn back to familiar ground or trust that God had already secured every step she needed to take to get to the other side. So, with a deep breath, she made the decision to step forward. Each step through the shanky and the 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 unfirm foundation, she kept stepping. And when she reached the other side, she realized something really profound, that the bridge wasn't the risk. Staying where she was would have been. Just meditate on that for a minute. Because some of us are stuck right where we are because we don't want to trust. And we don't recognize that us not moving forward is really hurting us more than go ahead and making the step to move forward. Can I say this to you? Some of us are staying and staying at the edge of new opportunities, new callings, and new territory. And the only thing between where you are and where God is calling you to go is trust. So, can we take the first step today together? I want to talk about 5 powerful trust principles, if you will, to take new territory and to go after that new opportunity. Can I first say, trust the thoughts that God gave you? Proverbs 23:7 is one of my favorite scriptures. I would put it on my phone as a greeting. Was, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." If God puts a vision in you, he will guide you through every step so that you get to the ultimate place that he showed you. You got to stop second guessing yourself. Your God-given ideas are clues to your next level. Can I say that again? They really are clues. Every idea, every deposit he puts in your heart really is God's way of getting you ultimately to that next place. You've got to start writing down the thoughts, because I tell you all the time, God is not obligated to repeat himself. And realize that there is a place and a journey and a position that God's getting me to. And then I want you to recognize that the thoughts that try to come against those ideas, you got to say, those are the things that try not to let you go, not to make you go forward, or not to allow you to go forward. And you've got to ask yourself the question, what's the recurring nudge you keep feeling? What is that nudge that keeps telling you to? And then what's that thing trying to pull you back from it? And I want you to trust that that nudge is not random, it's divine. And allow that nudge to really be that push you need to go forward. So trust your God given thoughts. Then trust your desires. God put them there for a reason. Psalms 37:4 says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. God is not playing games with your desires. And I think that sometimes we feel like that. The deep desires of your heart are there for a reason. If it aligns with his word and draws you closer to purpose, it's not a distraction, it's a direction. You need to write that down. Because sometimes I think we think nudges are kind of like trying to sway us or get us off. And instead of you thinking of them as a distraction, understand that these are directions. So stop dismissing your dreams. This year, pray bold prayers and take major action steps towards what you truly desire and what you know could be on the other side. Then I want you to trust the plan, even when it's unclear. Sometimes we don't take the steps or we don't trust the next way to go forward because it feels like it's unclear. I really don't have a clear picture of where I'm going. I don't have a clear picture of where I need to go. And it's kind of like Abraham when God comes to him and says, I need you to go to a place that I'm going to show you. And what I'm saying to you, he didn't know. There was no clear plan. There was no clear direction. He just said, you're going to a place I'm going to show you. And you got to trust you that whatever that more's in my heart that I want, that I'm trying to go after, and God wouldn't have put it there if he is not getting ready to get me there. So when you take those bold, massive steps, I want you to understand, trust the plan even when it's unclear. Jeremiah 29 says it this way, for I know the plans I have, says the Lord, to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you hope in a future. Trust doesn't mean you'll always see the full picture. Abraham did not see the full picture, but he had to trust the plan of God. It means you walk forward in obedience even when the details are blurry, even when you don't know the next step, even when you can't trace God. You got to trust even when it's uncomfortable, even when it seems outrageous. It's courageous just to trust. This year, commit to moving forward even without all the questions. I have somebody in my life that every time I ask them something, they ask me 50 million questions. I mean, it's the most frustrating thing sometimes because it's like, okay, I told you. Just do that. Like, okay, but what about this? Or what do you mean by this? Or what do you mean by that? I just mean move forward. And that's how we do God a lot of times. He tells you to go forward. And because we don't trust him, we don't trust his plan, we don't trust what he's saying, we don't know what's on the other side, we start asking 50 million questions and we never move forward. And really, can I use this? It's a tactic to try to keep you from moving. It's a tactic to try to allow you not to do anything. Can I say that again? It really is a tactic you use to sabotage your own self or to keep yourself stuck and stagnant. And you think you're trying to keep yourself safe, but you're really stuck and stagnant. And most of us would rather be stuck and stagnant. Yeah, I said it. And we're calling it safe because we're looking for security rather than looking for the Savior's plan. He wouldn't have he wouldn't have told me to go if he hadn't already worked out every detail ahead of time. So ask yourself, what's my next step right now? What is the next step I need to be making? This year, I made a decision. I'm leaping, I'm jumping, I'm moving forward. I don't care where I land. God's got a plan for me to prosper me, to give me hope in the future. And I am not going to allow myself to keep myself on this place of safety, which is really stagnation and stuck, because I don't know the clear plan. Be courageous this year and trust that, you know what, I'm going to take the step. And even if there's not a place there for me to put my foot, God will make a place before my foot lands. That's so good. You need to make that decision. You know what? I don't know if it's going to be a step over there, or if it's going to be a place for me to put my foot, but I know this. God's made me a guarantee. He'll never let me fall. So he's going to ensure that what I need to put my foot on is there before I even put my foot. Then can I ask you to do this? Trust the purpose even when it costs you. I know, I'm talking to somebody right now. Trust the purpose even when it costs you. Romans 8:28 says this, and we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and that are called according to his purpose. Purpose requires sacrifice. Sometimes trusting God means leaving people, places, and patterns that no longer serve where he's taking you. When you trust your purpose, you stop begging for seats at a table that God never called you to. I know. Stop, rewind, play. Some of y'all sitting at tables right now that they don't set out a plate for you, a fork, or a knife. But you keep sitting thinking a plate eventually gonna come. Take an audit of your life. What's draining you that God never assigned you to? And let's go so you can grow. I take a 6-month evaluation of my life every 6 months. Literally, twice a year, I evaluate where I am. Am I at the right table with the right people? Do I need to change the trajectory? Do I need to change some seats? Do I need to change who at my table? I'll make the table. And I know that may sound a particular way, but what you have to recognize is that I've got to trust that what God has purposed in my life and what God's plan is for my life, that I'm stepping in sync and in alignment with him. So you need to ask yourself, that as I audited my life, I gave y'all the word audit. I self-evaluate 6 months. Look at it. And let me really, I'm going to tell you everything tonight. Let me say this. There have been moments that I've evaluated wrong. And so what I'm telling you is you've got to hear God in this moment. That as you're auditing and you're evaluating, you got to make the necessary shifts so that I'm trusting God only, not in me, not in how I'm feeling, not in what makes sense to me, but I'm trusting God's plan and where God is calling me to go. Then I want you to trust the pursuit and refuse to hold back. James 2:26, one of my favorite scriptures, faith without works is dead. You know I'm the faith chick, right? You got to trust, like I told you this year, I'm pursuing and I'm not holding back. This is the year, no holds barred, no holding back. I'm going all in all the way. Trust is not a feeling, it's a pursuit. Stop waiting for the perfect condition. Your faith works when you work it. You're waiting for the wind not to blow. You're waiting for the sun to be shining. You're waiting for it not to be any mud. You're trusting in the elements and not trusting in the fact that forward is the direction he's called me to go. He didn't say go forward if it wasn't raining. He didn't say go forward if there wasn't no mud. He didn't say go forward if all the conditions were favorable. He told me to go forward. And what I'm saying to you today is you've got to trust in the pursuit and don't hold anything back. Don't allow hesitation. Don't allow hardship. Don't allow hangups to get you hesitant and holding in a space that no longer is valuable for you. This year, you got to trust. And you're going to have to trust some people that you don't want to trust. And you're going to have to trust some situations that you ain't never wanted to trust. And you're going to have to make a solid decision this year that trust is going to be a part of who I am and in my DNA. Because even if it's not the perfect condition, God will make it work together for me. Even if everything ain't lining up, God's going to make it work together for me. I need you to get this. Trust will take you further than talent, further than connections, and further than your credentials. This year, we're trusting bigger, harder, and deeper. Trust God even when we don't understand. Trust the vision even when we feel unqualified. Trusting ourselves because God put the wisdom in us, the desire in us, the purpose in us for a reason. When you're standing at that edge of your own bridge, this is the year to cross over into new ground, to new territory, to new hopes, to new dreams, to new victories, to new outcomes, to new. So what are you waiting for? Step forward and trust. Trust in the fact that he's already told you that whatever gets formed against you will not prosper and won't work. So you got to make a decision. I'm trusting. This year, I'm not going to allow my last issue or the fact somebody else betrayed me or the person lied to me or the person never comes through, whatever it is that caused you to be in a space of mistrust, not wanting to trust. Today decide, no, I'm going to trust. Even when it don't make sense, even when you don't want to, trust. Keep trusting, keep moving, keep winning. That's what you got to do today. TRUST. Trust. Put that in your chat. Send that to one of your friends. They can hold you to, you're going to trust this year. You're going to lean in. You're going to be vulnerable. And God is going to be your safe landing place. I know. He's like, can you get off of that today? That's it for today. That's the episode. The word is trust. The Pink Pulpit this year is going to be a year of challenge and checking you so that you don't stay where you've been. The Pink Pulpit it's a movement. We're moving. We're moving at warp speed. We're moving at the speed of light. We're moving because God has so many great things that he wants to do for us. So if this blessed you, if this made you say ouch, if you say you're on my toes, you're ringing my doorbell, you drove up in my driveway, and you know there's somebody, a girlfriend that needs to hear this, share it with her. Let's go into this year trusting harder, deeper, bolder, with more fervency than ever before. And remember, this is the gospel according to her. For women, by women. Women who want real life change in their pulpit of life. Let's make this a year of radical trust. Until next time, I'm your faith chick, your host, Lady Nicole Green. Keep trusting, keep moving, and keep winning. Because life is a gift. Make the best of yours. I'll see you next time.